All right, we're coming to the end of summer, and we're trying to squeeze the last drops out. We're down on East Bay Court in Merrick, down by the water. I'm sitting today with Andrew Rosman, who's a financial wealth advisor with Bleakley Financial. Andrew, thank you for joining me on this wonderful day.
Oh, it's a pleasure to finally be on Mondays with Mike.
There you go.
It's always a dream of mine.
Long time fan, first time participant, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I've alluded to this a bunch of times. I think I've actually even talked about it a bunch of times. Like when you buy a house, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, it seems like you've done a lot of legwork, and it's been a long road to get there. And there's a tendency to just kind of give up. But there's a lot more that you should think about after you've got the house, because now you have a big asset to your name. And
Sure.
That's really what we want to talk with Andrew about.
And I definitely would hate to throw one more thing on the home buyer's to-do list.
Yep.
But unfortunately, and what we were just talking about is that mortgage companies don't really care. It's weird. They care if you have property insurance. They care if you have flood insurance. But they don't really care whether you have like life or disability. And
Right.
generally speaking, you should be reviewing those types of coverages whenever you're having a major life event. And I think anyone would agree that purchasing a home and undertaking a six-figure mortgage would be one of these critical life events.
Andrew and his wife are actually clients of mine. We helped them buy their first house, so I think he can and we got your co-op sold, which is a whole other
They
animal.
sold my first home and bought my second one.
Yeah. So it's he's been through the ringer with us, and he's coming from experience on this. But he did not drop the ball after buying the first or second, and you can also be in the same position. Let's talk about like what are the key things for people to look at.
Generally speaking, you'd want to think, especially if your mortgage is based on the income of two earners or one earner, that not only like what would happen if that person passed away, but I think a lot of people, because people don't really like to think about it, but like what would happen if someone were to become injured?
Right.
And then in theory, a lot of like some people, if you're a W-2 employee, which neither of us are, you might have employee benefits that are, either disability or life insurance that's available to you. Some people don't have that. A subcontractor, 1099 folks.
Right.
So those are kind of the things you'd want to look into. And say one of you is a W-2 earner, one of you isn't, or there's different blends and different needs analyses that you should do. And it's very specific to an individual couple. And it's also based on what your level of risk tolerance is.
Right.
Really. You're going to end up, if you're going to be purchasing life insurance, you're going to have to deal with either a broker or an agent. Brokers represent all the different companies, while an agent is like they only sell Hartford life insurance.
Right.
Like you don't want, you would prefer to be, because every single company looks at risks differently. Maybe someone's a smoker, someone has some health issue. And also the reason I would kind of be looking at this prior to buying the house is because I'd want it to be part of your budget, and also I'd want it to be not something that while you're going through the mortgage process, yada yada, you don't need to find out that you are not insurable.
Right.
In terms of like, oh my God, I have to deal with this health issue also, like after I bought the house. No, you want to like, I feel like it's almost something you would check off like the to-do list.
Right.
Just get your ducks in a row.
So you actually, and that makes sense. I normally think of this as like the checklist to give to a first-time buyer after they've purchased the house. But you're right. It's really like it's added insurance, should be a line item expense for carrying the house. And I've talked about this a lot on this series. Actually thinking about home ownership and running your family like it's a business, because it is. The numbers need to make sense. So so life insurance, you think is like the key element?
I think it's one. I think the other one would be disability insurance. Actually, believe it or not, and not even like you're not even if you're disabled for permanently, but if you're disabled for 2-3 years or something like that, 6 months, you could fall behind on a lot of bills in 6 months.
Right.
So there's definitely products that are affordable. I guess that depends on everyone's definition of affordable, but there's definitely products out there that can meet certain needs. And also it depends on what your cash savings is after closing. If you have 6 months to a year worth of living expenses, you probably don't need the short-term disability. If
Right.
if that's okay with you,
Right.
if that's a risk you want to take.
Right.
And
Makes
also, additionally, you're the most insurable today than you're ever going to be.
Right.
Pretty much every day that you wake up.
Yep. You're a little older, a little weaker, a little more susceptible.
Well, you go to one more every doctor's appointment you go to is just
Right.
a can of worms.
That makes a lot of. I think that resonates with a lot of people.
Yeah.
But it's important to keep that in mind. I mean, if you're in your 20s and you're buying your first house, keep that in mind. You don't want to be 10 years down the road and wish you had your health when you were in your 20s
Sure.
when you're going to go for one of
Another
these
thing I'd be cautious about is like you'll see a lot of commercials where they're like, I got $1 million of term insurance for $3.99 a month,
Yeah.
and it's like the term is 3 years. Well,
yeah. That's
so now in 3 years you're gonna have to find like actual cover, like a good amount of coverage to last the rest of the life of the
Right.
mortgage. And I actually am not an expert on this at all, but I know there are policies that'll decrease over the life of a mortgage. In theory, they'll line them up with your mortgage. I don't really think that's a great. I think you should probably buy a little bit longer term for like the life of, because you'll have, God, you maybe have some children or something, and then like you're like, oh no, I need another 250. Well, now you're 35.
Right.
250 cost a lot more than it would have cost when you were 28.
No,
So
that's true.
you reach the new band. But actually, in terms of that, disability goes down over time because it's less time before you're
retiring.
qualify for. So yeah.
Okay.
So
Right.
it's like this. It's actually the exact opposite.
That's interesting.
but-
Yeah, I never really thought about that.
But those are the two main types of coverages I kind of thought of when purchasing a home. And my wife is scared of everything, so we own all the insurances you could purchase. She also works in insurance, so
Yeah.
healthy fear of everything.
Yeah, so you have a financial
Yeah.
planner and an insurance
Yeah,
person.
so
You're going to own a lot of stuff.
Natural.
But hey, you know what? It's everybody has the same susceptibilities, and everybody should be thinking that way or know somebody who can have that fear for them. Let's say, even if you're more risk tolerant, the mortgage bank does not care that you are risk tolerant. They want to make sure that they're getting paid.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. And I would say that a lot of times, in certain people, you go to like an insurance agent or something, and they'll be like, they come out with these. They're like, you need $4 million in cover, and like,
Right.
No, you don't. Like, it's not.
Would be nice.
Yeah.
But
you
we don't want to incentivize your spouse either to.
You'd like your
set up
spouse
any
to have
injuries.
enough that she can remarry if she'd like to, not because she
Right.
has to.
Exactly. So let's end the segment on that note before the wind just totally blows the camera over. Thanks for coming on, Andrew, and we'll get you on here again. I think it's gonna
Pleasure.
be. I smell a series in the making. All right, everybody have a good day. This may not get out on a Monday. We'll see when it does, but I'm going to chalk that up to it being August, and we make them when we can. Talk to you guys soon.
Thank you.